Sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at kbla.store today. That's kbla.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station. KBLA Talk 1580.
The bounce is back.
Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep.
Did it happen in one day?
Nope.
Came a long way?
Yep.
Never know what kind of angle.
Nope.
Crossover, break your ankle.
Yep.
Sloppy with the rock.
Nope.
Steph Curry with the shot.
Yep.
Suckers.
Nope.
We go right there.
Splash Brothers.
Yep.
Ain't no stopping.
Nope.
Klay Thompson.
Yep.
Under pressure, is he choking?
Shout out to
Do it big
E40.
like Bogan.
Yep.
Never let him tell
40
us that we can't.
Fonzarelli.
Go hard like Barnes in the
You know, when he gets that high pitch, that's who it is. Even if you were unsure, once he starts going in with that fast talk and those pitches, it's 40 Fonzarelli. Captain Save him, though. Shout out to Steph Curry. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome back in VIPs. I hope you have your snacks. I hope that you have a beverage, maybe a libation. It is Monday, so, maybe just like some hot cocoa, tea, warm milk. Too late for coffee. I'm just saying. So I hope you have something. We are in hour 2. I'm joined with music historian and journalist Mark Chappelle.
There you go.
So we were talking about Irv Gotti and the whole Rockefeller crew and sort of where Dame Dash lies and all of that. I think we're in agreement that Dame should be mentioned respectfully. Like, excluding him does nothing. It doesn't,
It doesn't make Irv look good.
doesn't make Irv, but it doesn't make Jay look better either. I think everybody did their thing. And of course, Jay's an incredible businessman. And you absolutely can make the point, as you brought out, Dame hasn't had any success post Jay, And if he has, it was real mid 2000-ish. So I don't know. I don't even know. Andy, I think that you have some commentary.
I think at this point, I don't know how Dame still feels about, not being acknowledged, but considering, his relationship with Jay-Z and how it's soured, Dame shouldn't trip. Easier said than done. He shouldn't trip. Like, he should just understand that the relationship was soured. But those who know, they live their life publicly. You know what I mean? So those who know, knows. And those who matter will definitely give Dame his flowers and his acknowledgement. There's nothing that you could do that you could take away from his legacy. You go in them credits or whatnot, you know what I'm saying, from Reasonable Doubt and on the first couple albums, you're going to see his name there. You're going to see pictures of him together. So, at this point, it should be water under the bridge. They shouldn't trip over any future acknowledgments or whatnot, but what's been in the sand is there.
But I feel that, to your point and to the point that Mark brought up, if Dame had more success, if he had something that was really bubbling or getting him current attention, I don't think that he would trip as much. Or at least I think the conversation around it would be somewhat different. And it wouldn't be as heavily leaning, as bitter as he can sometimes sound. Think about it. We hear so much about Dame and Aaliyah, not just because these individual interviewers want to talk about this with him because, it's maybe their first time getting with him, or they want to ask a different point of view they feel on it, but also because what else does he have to talk about? What is going to bring your attention back to him? Dame has a lot of things that are in motion, but are they moving? Like, are people really checking for it? It's a good point. Like, I ask you, are any of Dame's recent projects, have you clocked in personally and checked them out?
My understanding is he had his hand with the whole Earn Your Leisure crew as part of the whole Revolt thing. I don't know if anybody's familiar with 19 Keys.
19 Keys, yeah, the higher thinking, is that what's higher level conversations?
High level conversations.
Okay,
and
yeah.
So when you talk about stuff that he's doing for the culture, He's definitely doing some stuff for the culture, because it's on Revolt. You know what I mean? It's not like on regular TV or anything.
I mean,
like
so
that.
Assets and Liabilities, that's the show that you're talking about that
Absolutely.
is on the Revolt.
Absolutely.
Then they have the podcast, Earn Your Leisure. So he might have connected those dots.
100%.
But here's the thing with that, and I respect that because that's a very good point, and I have heard them allude to that. They started their movement like he didn't find them. They sought him out, and he rocked with them after kind of seeing what they were doing. So
Dame got some pull. He still got some, some leverage in the game to provide them with that platform.
did he provide them with it? Did he throw them the actual lob, or did he just help them navigate through it? And I'm not taking away helping them navigate through it, not at all. But there is a difference between me bringing you a situation like, hey, I think you would be perfect for this, and then you saying, hey, this situation, or I'm trying to do this, can you help me massage it? Both are important, but they show a different level of investment. Right? Maybe not.
I mean,
Maybe.
it's still some value that he provided.
No, absolutely. I will never say that. I think that them trying to disparage him and discredit him is all personal, all beef, all, other stuff that is getting in the way of this. And again, I understand those hard feelings, but I don't think that it should take away from what he legitimately did. And everybody knows it. I think that is aware. Maybe the youth is unaware, but all they have to do is go watch what's the concert movie where Dame was wilding out from the tour?
Hard Knock Life tour?
Yes, there you go. There you go. Is that what it was called, or Backstage? What was
Backstage.
Okay, that's the one where he they showed him going in Def Jam and cursing all the executives out and talking. Yeah. I mean, so there's documented evidence of the type of things that he did. So. Water under the bridge until we hear about it again. So I mentioned that Jennifer Hudson had reflected on her journey from American Idol 20 years ago, that audition to EGOT, right? Which brought up a conversation that I thought would be fun to discuss with Mark. Which do you consider the greater talent show or the greater discovery search? Star Search, the OG, back in the 80s, right? Or American Idol? So first of all, did you watch American Idol? And if so, do you have what you consider an American Idol all-star lineup?
I not only watched American Idol, I auditioned.
Did you really?
And so, I feel like I have just that process of knowing, there are really, really great singers that were there that I knew from, being around L.A. And they auditioned and they didn't get in. And so I understood that it's a casting call rather than an actual competition show. Like they were really putting on a show. They weren't trying to find talent. So, again, there's still talent that came through, but...
So it was kind of like a combination where good voice, good story to make for good TV, sort of in that kind of capacity?
Listen, not only that, and I'm not saying any names, but I know some people who were terrible singers, and they got on the show because they were bad. I mean, if you got onto Showtime at the Apollo, would you be like, hey, am I on here because I'm good, or because you want Sandman to come through and grab somebody? They had to do a show. I realized, okay, it's a casting call. It's not the thing about talent. There are people there who definitely deserve to be put on, but American Idol might not have been the vehicle for them. I don't know if Star Search was or wasn't like that.
I feel like in the 80s, there wasn't, because one, it came on Sunday nights. We know it was syndicated, but you really had to call in and vote, right? So I think the audience that would be interesting. I have to go look at, because I don't remember hearing anything about Star Search setting up bad performers. And I really don't think bad performances, I don't, and obviously I don't really remember, but I don't remember terrible performances like on American Idol where you see the judges' faces. Because I don't think that at that time in the culture we were
Looking for train wrecks.
Right. We weren't allowed to laugh at people like that. That would have been considered cruel.
I mean, it is uncomfortable. I don't like seeing somebody like bomb. I don't want to see that, but it will get eyes on your show, and if that's what you want, that's probably why we have what we have now.
Yeah, I don't know if that. So, okay, let's go a little bit into who were considered the stars, some of them from American Idol, right? Carrie Underwood, she's the season 4 winner, right? Country sensation. Let's see, 9 studio albums, 8 Grammys, 12 Billboard Awards, 17 American Music Awards.
Good God.
She made history as the highest certified female country artist of all time. And to date, she sold 70 million records worldwide. Aside from music, she released her first book, which was a New York Times bestseller, Find Your Path, that came out in 2020. And in 2015, she launched a fitness clothing line. And her net worth is around 140 million.
Okay, can you win on those stats alone? Because I didn't know all that about Carrie Underwood, right?
Right. Listen, okay. Me neither. It was pretty interesting researching this. So, Kelly Clarkson.
Of course.
Obviously, she's been making waves forever. She has the Kelly Clarkson Show, 4 seasons, going strong. She's won an Emmy for that show. She performs on there, does her little renditions of ditties. Still
Karaoke.
Can blow. Still can blow, right? She's released 10 studio albums, sold over 25 million copies worldwide. She became the first artist to top each of Billboard's pop, adult contemporary, adult pop, country, and dance charts.
Wow.
She's written a children's book. And, she's won 5 Daytime Emmy Awards, 4 American Music Awards, 3 MTV Video Music Awards, and 2 awards from the Academy of Country Music.
Okay, and I thought I knew stuff. Apparently, I didn't know all this.
Right? Locking it in. Okay, let's roll to Jennifer Hudson, since she's what kicked off this conversation.
Okay.
We know.
But she didn't win, though.
Jennifer did not win.
But she was on the show.
But she was on the show, and that is how we were introduced to her. So it
right.
counts. Because a lot of the people from the Star Search version did not win either. Right? So, because you think about it, it's Star Search, I don't know if you're going to remember this. I feel like season 1 of the earliest season, there was a guy named Sam Shepard. He used to sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and he definitely took inspiration from Patty's version. He would get in there and blow it out the park. He had the voice. He went like undefeated, like perfect score for like weeks. He was one of the early winners of the show of Star Search.
So
back
he
in the
did
day.
win.
Yes. Because remember at that time they had like modeling categories, acting, music, individuals, all of these different things. So it's a lot happening, on Star Search.
Okay, so I remember seeing the show, but now that you're telling me this, it's like it's new information because I knew there was more than just singing.
They got rid of the acting stuff after a couple of seasons because it was kind of like sometimes they would get a celebrity to come on and act out the scene with them. But, it's kind of hard for lay people to judge really who acted better in this scene.
Right.
Still. It kind of would drag. The spokesmodel category was really big. They would have that. They would have them do it looked like a glamour, the glamour shots photo shoot or whatever. But it was really huge. So let's run J Hud's stats really fast. We know she's an EGOT.
Wow.
Right? She is the youngest woman to reach EGOT status, right?
Right.
She is also an executive producer, and we know she has her own talk show, the Jennifer Hudson Show. And yeah, she came season 3 finalist. She netted 7th place.
Okay. J Hud, LaToya London, and Fantasia on the same show. Something was up with them being eliminated or in the same elimination round together.
Listen, that was a setup, right?
It definitely was.
Jordan Sparks, who won season 6.
Oh, right.
So she's the youngest winner in American Idol history. Her Grammy-nominated debut sold over 3 million copies worldwide. She had 3 more albums that she released, a mixtape and 4 EPs. She toured with Britney Spears, Alicia Keys, the Jonas Brothers, and the Backstreet Boys. And she starred on as Nina on Broadway in The Heights. And listen,
I didn't know she made it to Broadway also.
Right.
I love that for her.
So, listen, there's some successes, right? Little bit. Things that you didn't forget. We can't forget about Ruben Studdard, who won season 2, right? He had his single, Sorry, 2004. Isn't that it? Yeah. I don't know why he needed to put a year on it, but he did. And that's about it.
Wait a minute.
He did the Christmas show with Clay Aiken.
He did, okay.
He did Broadway too. I'm just kind of skipping over his stuff because I don't know. I feel like Ruben was a blip.
I don't know if they knew what to do with most of these people. It's like American Idol and The Voice they're great at making stars of the judges, not so much at the talent that's actually on the show.
I think, well, one, because they can't really pick because they leave it up to voting, right? Audience voting. So what the audience may fall in love with, to your point, because they're making a show, right? And so they may fall in love with their personality or their talent. But realistically, did you think that American Idol and the label that they were signed to were going to be able to effectively market Ruben Studdard? And do you think that they really had an interest in it?
Okay, those are two separate questions, though, because I think that...
I mean, of course they had an interest, I should say. They want to make money, but...
Well, they absolutely would have the ability. The question is, do they actually want somebody like Ruben Studdard to become a star? I know some people have a star quality where, like, when you get around them, you just kind of know, and then some people just don't have quote-unquote it. But I think there's some artists that they really want to get behind because they feel like they're going to be easy to market and they're going to be cheap to market. That's a big thing, too. And I kind of thought that when American Idol first showed up and Kelly Clarkson was who she was, who was so outsized as a talent, that they were going to be finding people who were of that caliber each time. And they stopped fairly soon. There was a swift drop-off, I think. I don't want to say that because I'm not thinking of whoever was second, third, and fourth. But there wasn't a whole bunch of Kelly Clarksons there. I mean, think of the number of winners that you can't remember right now.
Wasn't Justin...
Guarini?
He won with... I mean, I love him in the Dr. Pepper commercials.
That seems like shade.
It's not shade, and somebody shouted that out in the chat. No, here's the thing. Real talk.
Well, look, did you watch the Justin and Kelly movie, though?
Absolutely not. Come on. And I got it. They're trying to reenact Frankie and Annette, which none of you probably even know what that
It's a little outdated, just a little bit.
But that's what they were trying to do. It's appropriate. It might be outdated for y'all to connect to, but that's exactly what they were trying to do, not realizing that's not really going to work right now.
It was not the time for it.
It wasn't the time for it at all. But no, I like him in the Dr. Pepper commercials. He's funny. It's cute. And that means he's getting a check. So
I want everybody to eat. Even if I don't like you, I don't want you to starve.
So, I mean, I have no issues with that. Maya Long mentioned Fantasia. We didn't forget about Fantasia, girl. We get into Fantasia because they have her kind of low on this list. But, and I guess it's just a list of opinions. But for me, what I will say is that Fantasia is probably going to take everything up a notch this December.
Oh, that's right.
When The Color Purple comes out.
I want her to win. I really do. I mean, I'm not talking about a particular award, but yeah.
You just want her to win in general.
I didn't get to see her on Broadway because, again, her run was, I think, uneven when she was doing it, but I never got to see that. And I think that because of we know who Fantasia is and what she came through, she should be playing Celia. And then really, is she acting? She's just like being a version of herself that really comes through. So I have high hopes, and I hate doing that because I don't like being let down, but yes, this really should be cool.
Listen, Fantasia played herself in her own biopic. When we come forward, we'll have more with Mark Chappelle. We'll get into Steph Curry and his comments, all that and more. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
To my hometown, my community. Some of you have known me my whole life. Do you notice anything different about the kids in the neighborhood? Ever paid attention? We might start with gifts, money, attention. These are signs. Child trafficking is happening right here in this town. So don't just watch through the window. Pay attention. Because the more we know, the more we'll all know to say no. Learn the signs to look for and how to help at no-to-say-no.com.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just one dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. We are still with our guest, music critic, journalist, historian, Mark Chappelle. We're kind of going through the stars that have been birthed from American Idol, you know, one of the premier reality TV competition shows that we've seen in the past 20 years, comparing it to the OG. You know, there was The Gong Show, and then there was Star Search.
I forgot about The Gong Show.
The Gong Show was seriously like comedy. Like, that is a show where you wanted the people to be terrible, and every once in a while there was a good group that came on. That was comedy. That was meant to make you laugh. That wasn't serious.
Okay, so who was coming through The Gong Show besides Cheryl Lynn? That's the only one I know.
I don't know. I have to go research that because I didn't even know I was going to talk about it tonight. I just, maybe the Lockers.
You pulled that out of, like, yesteryear.
Right. Maybe my mind. I can't remember. Like the, you know, with Fred, Rerun, Barry, maybe they went on there,
oh, wow.
You know, and Shabadoo and those people. Mickey, you're so fine. What's her name? The choreographer.
Tony Basil.
Tony Basil. There you go. Yeah. So maybe, but I don't have to go back and check. I'll have my facts on that tomorrow for you guys. So, you know, locked down. So, yeah, we're going to see Fantasia in The Color Purple this December. I think she might change a lot of hearts and minds. And, you know, they're saying she and Taraji might, because, you know, Taraji plays Shug Avery.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Mm-hmm, might, you know, be in that little competition for the little gold statue that comes. We don't know when it's going to come this year because everything's getting pushed back because of the strike. But
God have mercy.
That's it. So really quickly, we're going to head over to Star Search. A couple of people that appeared on there, not necessarily one, but just passed through the doors of Star Search and sort of see what we think as a comparison. So obviously we know Girls Time appeared on there. That is Destiny's Child before they were Destiny's Child. So Beyonce and Kelly Rowland. I'm not sure if LaToya and LaTavia were with them, but we had that. Usher, you know, when he was still, I think, did he use Raymond Usher the fourth when he went on there? Or, I don't know. But Usher did go through Star Search criteria.
Just him or with the group?
No, it was just Usher. He was solo.
Okay.
Aaliyah. We mentioned Tracy Spencer. Tracy, I believe, won.
I would believe it.
I think Tracy won. You know, we've seen her pop up on social media lately after a long absence.
Yay.
You know, singing Tender Kisses and reuniting with Shanice and reliving her Family Matters moment with Darius McQuarrie. You know, Eddie and Tracy singing and Tracy popping up at the house. That was a classic episode.
Had me smiling all big watching that. That was just feel-good moments.
Leanne Rimes came through Star Search.
Really?
Yep. Christina Aguilera.
Yeah.
Alanis Morissette.
Wait, on American TV?
On Star Search, yeah.
But she's Canadian. I thought she came through Canada.
I mean, I guess maybe she popped up on there. We mentioned Justin. So there's also like Dave Chappelle. They used to have a comedy segment. He came through there. So obviously we were comparing singers, but just to throw a couple of these out there.
I don't think I realized that that was that thick for Star Search. American Idol has some huge talents. I guess they're on the way to becoming icons. But Star Search,
I think Carrie and Jennifer you probably already got to give them that though, right? Carrie's the top like female country artist. She set a lot of records.
Okay,
Gotta
I
give
mean
her a
that's
little
probably
bit of
already going to happen. And you know, you didn't mention Adam Lambert.
I forgot
He didn't
about
win,
Adam Lambert,
but I'm like, that was an
but
embarrassment.
He was huge. Adam, Clay Aiken, all
Because
of those.
I don't remember the person who actually won.
Right. I mean, that happens. So, in the chat, listen, they're getting in there. Maya Long mentioned her being on Star Search.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think that she was, when she was still Gabby, right? Or something. Maya Long didn't know that Aaliyah was on Star Search. Urban Spencer mentioned Aaliyah was on Star Search. She also mentioned the Lockers. I think she was agreeing with me that the Lockers were on.
Like
were they
Shabba-Doo.
on Star Search too? But I know for sure that they were on the Gong Show because Shabba-Doo and Fred Rerun Barry was a part of the Lockers too, and Tony Basil was the girl Locker, and she choreographed them.
Is Basil not Basil? I don't know. Anyway, it's her. Tony, whatever her last name
Tony
is pronounced.
Basil?
Basil or Basil? I don't know.
I don't know. I could be jacking up. I do know that she was married to Shabba-Doo, or they dated for a long
really?
time. Yeah.
And she did a lot of choreography after that.
She really did. And Mickey will forever be a classic. And if you were a cheerleader, you rocked out to that. When we come forward, we will get into Steph Curry, what's going on with him, saying he's the greatest point guard ever. We're also going to talk Angel Reese and the benefits of NIL and what she is doing to give back. We will for sure have more conversation regarding music with our guest, Mark Chappelle. All of that and more. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. News and Sports is up next.
Turned up in the Oracle. Yep. Can't beat Steve Kerr. Nope. I'm a warrior like the Blur. Yep. Got something to say? Nope. Food is the bag. Yep. Coward. Nope. Hustle like Iguodala. Yep. Do we ever play weak? Nope. Finessing like David Lee. Yep. Ain't nobody better than my team. Nope. Money like Draymond Green. Yep. Ain't nobody finna crush our dream. Nope. Won't stop till we get a ring. Yep. Everybody say Warriors.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. No arrests have been made so far connected to the Georgia election interference investigation in Fulton County, Georgia. It's been a week since racketeering indictments were brought down against former President Trump and 18 co-defendants. Black District Attorney Fani Willis has given everyone a deadline of this Friday to surrender. Meantime, former President Trump's bond in that Georgia election case is set for $200,000. Trump's lawyers met with the Fulton County District Attorney's office today to negotiate terms of his bond and release. Officials at a Texas HBCU near Houston say heat exhaustion is the main reason for more than 36 students being hospitalized after a school event. Emergency medical professionals were called to Prairie View A&M University during the final night of Panther Camp activities for new students. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Come to Dodger Stadium and cheer on CT3 on August 29th when the Diamondbacks visit. Be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance to receive a Chris Taylor bobblehead presented by Spectrum. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Gotta stay fresh, my house shot with a rest bar,
Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Are you looking to steer your career in a new direction? Driving for the Culver City Bus can be your ticket to a long-lasting career with excellent benefits and paid training. Culver City Bus is looking for customer service and safety-minded bus operators to join the growing team. Culver City Bus offers on-the-job paid training, uniform allowance, and health benefits. Culver City Bus are now even putting their money in your pocket with a one-time $2,500 sign-on bonus. Let us connect you with an essential service job. If you enjoy driving, seek real opportunities for career advancement, and passionate about making a difference in your community, then we invite you to join the team. Start your journey by submitting an application at culvercity.org/job. For more information, visit culvercitybus.com or call the live customer service operator at 310-253-6500. Again, 350-253-6500.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Being on some chill, we go 0 to 100 real quick. They be on that rap to pay the bills, and I don't feel it, not even a little bit. Oh Lord, know yourself, know your worth. My actions being louder than my words. How you so,
Andy always keeps us lit here on RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. A little bit of Drake. Funny, I just saw some Drake news float along my timeline. He's doing a show tonight at the Staples Center. Yes, I know it's technically called the Crypto.com Arena. It will,
we don't acknowledge that.
like Twitter and the Fox Hills Mall, always be known as their original names, okay?
Yep.
Okay, now that we're clear on that. So Drake is performing downtown tonight at the Crypto, and you know how the opening, well, maybe you don't know, the opening of his concert, he does a crowd walk where he walks through the crowd, and sometimes he has special guests, you know, especially if they mean something to the city, escort him through this crowd walk. We know when he was in Philly, it was a big deal because he had Meek Mills. But, you know, Memphis Bleak is from Philly, too. But anyway,
okay. Right.
That's not what we're talking about. So tonight, he had LeBron James and Bronny walk him out. So this is, you know, we saw Bronny the other night. He was at Dodger Stadium with his dad again for LeBron's bobblehead night. So we're seeing him reemerge back into the public. I hope that that means good things as far as his health. It is said that he will not be missing his freshman year at USC. And as far as we are aware, is still scheduled to play basketball this season following his health emergency that happened at USC practice earlier this summer. So we'll have to see what comes out with that. But he is making more public appearances. And, you know, we hope that means that his health is in immaculate shape at this point and that everything is flowing along lovingly. Now, kind of switching, we're going to get back to the music stuff, of course. But have to talk about Steph Curry. So Steph recorded an episode of Gilbert Arenas' Let's slow down. Gilbert Arenas' podcast, Gil's Arena, and it features Gilbert Arenas. Josiah Johnson is his co-host. Brandon Jennings is also featured on there, and Brandon and Steph have a really good relationship. Steph and Brandon were both signed to Under Armour. Brandon has done a lot of design and key merch stuff for Steph Curry. I know those are probably two people that you wouldn't necessarily think would be together or linked up. Brandon Jennings was drafted to the Bucks. He, you know, after high school played in Italy for a year, came back, he was in the league, and now is a streetwear designer and a podcast host. At any rate, they had a conversation with Steph about who he feels is the best point guard ever. And let's hear that conversation.
Are you the best point guard ever?
Yes. Is me and Magic? Is it the conversation?
We can look at stats all day. I'm thinking about the 90s growing up. There was nobody trying to be a 6'9" point guard, right? But I can witness and watch every kid trying to be Curry. The influence that you really have on the game from the position as a player. I look at the stats and say, okay, Magic and Curry.
I really feel like Magic's resume is ridiculous. So the fact that we're even having that conversation, it's a place I never thought I'd be in. To your point of like how you grade it and the whole conversation, that's why we have the conversations, because it's fun. Measuring errors against each other, and I love that's what basketball, that's what sports is all about. That's why people watch. That's why people get, you know, in heated debates about it. I love it. You put me on my own team, I'm gonna rep myself for sure. But Magic, that's a lofty resume to shoot for, right? I'm still going. Let's see what happens. Come on.
So, I mean, here's the thing, right? I think okay. Let me back it up. You know, I am from LA. I'm a Laker ride or die fan. Magic was my guy. Kobe is my guy. I love the Lakers. I love LA. I love Magic. I love Magic. I love Magic. That's the first NBA player that I cognitively knew. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. I'll try. But anyway, like, it's Magic, right? Steph Curry obviously has been transformative, the best shooter in the game like we've never seen, what he's been able to do. But he's not a true point guard. Some people even think of Steph as a shooting guard. How much of the offense actually goes through Steph? I think if you look at the later years, you can see some of that, but really, it's not really how Golden State's game works. And Norm Nixon was spotted at the airport recently, and he was asked about sort of comparing eras in addition to his thoughts on winning time and how they portrayed his battle against Magic Johnson. We'll talk about that a little bit. But he said, and I agree with him, it's really impossible to compare eras. You can't. The rules are different. The body types are different. The nutrition is different. The things that we utilize as far as what happens in the game. Rules have changed. I mean, I think that would Steph be able to get his shots off and get his game off in the physicality of the 80s? I don't know. You know, obviously there wasn't a three-point line yet. People weren't taking shots like that. The shots that Steph takes would be considered a bad shot. So, I mean, it's hard to kind of compare the eras. But you do have to look at Steph as top 5 just by what he's managed to accomplish. I, push back on Gilbert saying that nobody was trying to be Magic Johnson just because they weren't 6'9". They were still trying to do a no-look pass. They were still trying to throw the pass behind their back, all of that. So I kind of disagree with that. And culturally, we know that Magic and Larry Bird saved the NBA and took off. Obviously, Steph has taken it to a different place, and, depending upon who you ask, how they feel about, those long-distance shooting and what it's done for the game and what it's done for kids. But one thing that you can say is Steph looks to be, to most, regular size, even though he's still very tall. Obviously, there's about a 6 or 7 inch height difference between the 6'9" Magic and Steph is like 6'2". But Steph looks more normal size, so people feel like they can relate more and they probably can do more or imitate what he does, So I really think that there is no comparison. I think that they are in the same book as far as leaders. If Steph gets another title, we got to talk about some things, but I also don't think that Steph is a true point guard. But I am not mad at him for saying, yeah, you got to talk about me, because what else are you supposed to say? Nope, don't consider me, don't think about me, even though I've done all of these things, I'm going to play humble. We're talking about my favorite player though, so meaning Magic, not Steph. But shout out to Steph. I appreciate him handling it. I appreciate the conversation. And, moving on to great examples really quickly, we're going to talk a little bit about T. Morant. Now, you know that Ja Morant has gotten into some things this offseason, started within the season, flashing his gun around. And we've heard a lot of conversation about who should be blamed, what our thoughts should be as far as what happened, if Ja should be forgiven. Well, his dad recently spoke at the Up Next Elite Camp in New Orleans, and he was pretty honest with his thoughts about the situation and what he thought. So I'm going to share those.
I'm coming from speaking for my son. Like, make sure anytime y'all anywhere know the capabilities of everybody around you, right? My son didn't get in trouble for the people around him. He got in trouble for his decision. So always be mindful of every decision y'all make, because it can pretty much take over you, it can consume you and make you think that who you're not, right? So anytime y'all everywhere, and they're saying the correct thing, anytime y'all everywhere.
So you get the idea. T. Morant is trying to spread a positive spin. He's not trying to give his son any outs. When we come forward, I will have more on T. Morant's comments on Ja and the positioning that I think is happening here. Of course, we'll have more with music critic Mark Chappelle. All of that and more. We'll also talk about Angel Reese. I didn't forget about her. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
To my hometown, my community. Some of you have known me my whole life. Do you notice anything different about the kids in the neighborhood? Ever paid attention? We might start with gifts, money, attention. These are signs. Child trafficking is happening right here in this town. So don't just watch through the window. Pay attention. Because the more we know, the more we'll all know to say no. Learn the signs to look for and how to help at no-to-say-no.com.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
Hey, you are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Remember, if you want to get in on the conversation, feel free to hit us up, 800-920-1580. You can always hit us up on social media. Social media, right? Yeah, yes. I said that right. KBLA 1580. I had to check. You know, it was moving kind of fast. I wasn't sure. The chat is always lit on YouTube, so they're buzzing in there. Pretty Brown Mimi says that, yes, I agree, 6'3" guys are more relatable, but Irving is always the magic man. Shout out to Irving Magic Johnson. We love him. Tony Yayo says Steve Francis is the greatest point guard of all time, but I'm a native Houstonian. Like, fair, but, you know, Stevie Franchise made stops in Orlando. Did he have his best years in Houston, or did he have his best years in Orlando? We know they were with Cat and that teaming, and he was fast, but, you know, Stevie kind of went downhill really quickly, really fast. Andy, you got some commentary. I see it.
Blasphemy. The greatest point guard of all time, Steve Francis.
Listen.
The greatest point guard of all time.
I'm just reading the comments.
Who has not one chip.
I'm just reading the comments.
And I rock with Stevie Franchise. That's my guy.
I rock with Stevie Franchise, too. I'm just reading.
But greatest point guard of all time? Tony Yayo, you tripping, bro.
A little bit. Pretty Brown Mimi says, I can't talk. Penny Hardaway is one of my faves, so I'm no expert. I mean, that's a great choice. It's nothing. Injuries derailed Penny. We did not have the medical sort of, you know, surgery technology that we currently have. I think he had, Penny had microfractures, right? Like
knee issues,
like both his knees gone. So the medicine got better, but unfortunately for him, it was too late for him. But, you know, he's having a great career coaching, you know. And did Penny go in the Hall of Fame? He did, right?
Is Penny?
In the Hall of Fame?
Nah, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
He's not?
You know what's crazy? He might be on the fence when it comes to Hall of Fame consideration.
I could see that, though.
You know, it's just the way his career went downhill after Shaq left. I mean, he kind of did his thing in Phoenix, but he just was not Orlando. Penny Hardaway.
Right.
And shout out to Tony Yayo. I get it. You're being funny.
Tony Yayo said, I'm just being hyperbolic. Okay. We get you. Sounds good.
Can I say this, though, about the Steph Curry, Magic Johnson thing?
Absolutely.
I mean, this era, it's pretty much positionless basketball.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? You got big men who are 6'9", 6'10", shooting threes and stuff like that. So, the whole
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, the whole point guard discussion, I kind of, wash my hands with that. But I will say that I do think that Steph Curry.
You think he's over Magic?
No. As far as revolutionizing the game, you can make a strong case Steph over Magic.
Okay. You can, right?
Yeah.
You can, because as I listen, Steph Curry, greatest shooter of all time.
Absolutely.
You got kids chucking it from half court because of what they see Steph Curry do.
You got the current players.
The current players are like, ooh, I want to shoot threes like Steph too. You got to talk about the fact that of the entire NBA, Steph Curry, I am blanking on what his three-point average is. But whatever it is, right?
It's up there.
No. Bigger than that. Less than 2% of the entire NBA has ever had in one season what he has averaged over the past few years. You know what I'm saying? So, listen.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Transformative. Everything. But what Magic did is Magic brought eyes, the game. He put basketball on professional basketball. He put it on his back and brought it in. He played 5 different positions in the finals. First year.
I give him. Hey,
coming
I'm a
up.
guy too.
Listen, I know. So I feel like there's a definite through line, right? There would be no Steph without Magic.
Really though?
There would be no NBA without Magic.
Okay, let's be real.
There would be no NBA.
Magic didn't do it by himself.
He did not. There was a team.
It was
Showtime Lakers.
No, what I'm saying is it was coupled with Larry Bird. I think that dynamic obviously helped the league. Was it Magic by himself? I don't know. It's unfair to even pose that question, considering
I mean, it wasn't Klay by himself. You think Klay is not playing with a team full of future Hall of Famers?
No, I'm not.
Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. You don't think that they KD? We can't forget 2 of Steph Curry's rings came with Kevin Durant. Steph only has 1 Finals MVP. I don't know how I feel about that, but
Nah. See, I'm not worried about teammates. I'm not worried about teammates. We're talking.
Okay.
I think what I'm arguing is more so impact on the game. I'm not gonna quit. Their impacts were definitely different and needed for the time being.
And that's why I feel like you can't really compare eras.
Yeah, and that's not even my argument. That's not even my argument. You're right. We can't really truly compare eras considering the rules, this, that, and the third, and the value of the 3-point line at that time. You know what I'm saying? But I still stand on the fact that I do think that Steph Curry has revolutionized the games more so than Magic Johnson.
Okay. Maybe. But 100% revolutionary, and I rock with both. So shout out to them both. Still on our basketball bully conversation, really quick, I wanted to mention T. Morant. I appreciate him speaking to the youth. I see what you're doing, though. Like, I'm just going to say I don't feel that it is genuine, but it's genuine.
Was it too late?
I think it was too late. That is my thing for it. I think it looks really staged and put together, that he came in and he didn't even have his words really together. They didn't feel authentic to me. They didn't feel as if like, I hear what you're saying, but are you really saying anything? That's sort of what I felt. I felt it was like someone pulled the coattail, like, hey, you know what would be a good thing? You should go speak to these kids and talk about responsibility, and don't, make it look like you're not giving Ja a pass either. That's important for you, T, because you want to be a media celebrity too, right? You want your face out there. You want them talking about, look at Usher, fake Usher. That's T. Morant. You like all of that attention too. I see you with your blingies on the court side. So, that's just what I think. I think it was a little bit too late. I want to see if that type of involvement continues, because that's usually my judge too, right? I'm not mad at you doing some things like that. Just, you know, it's the PR thing or whatever. Again, timing a little off. Not mad at it, but I will judge you on what you continue to do in the future. Andy?
It was a little bit too late, but I guess I could say that I'm still glad that he still said something.
Yeah.
And, you know, he also did specify, like, yeah, it was his decision making, you know? So, kids, be wise in your decision making.
I mean, this is what he said. In case you guys couldn't hear, you don't remember, he said, my son didn't get in trouble for people around him. He got in trouble for his decisions. Always be mindful of every decision y'all make, because it can pretty much take over you and consume you and make you think that you're who you're not. The smallest thing you do can make the biggest difference in your life. When I'm talking about life and living, I get kind of emotional, but I'm just telling y'all, make the right decisions. So, sage advice from T. Morant, aka Usher. I'm just like, so, and before we close out, right, I gotta talk about Angel Reese, because listen, we love Angel Reese. You know, we are headed back into school. It's school time. You know, Angel's gonna be out there doing her thing soon enough. But in the meantime, you know, we have seen, and this is my power move. We know the power move of the week is where a business person, place, or thing makes a move that I think is impactful, notable for their industry, or just good business sense, right? So Angel Reese, we know that she is one of the top recipients under the NIL rules, name, image, and likeness rights. And it's allowed them to make a lot of money for themselves and also give back to their local communities. We saw Angel's teammate, Flage. She recently made a donation to the Boys and Girls Club in her hometown of Savannah, Georgia. Angel is donating $12,000 to her alma mater, St. Francis Academy, back in Baltimore, to cover a year's worth of tuition for the school's current women's basketball team. Reese is donating to the same fund that helped pay for her tuition throughout her 4 years at St. Francis. She's one of the top women's college basketball players last season while leading the Tigers to their first national title, and that resulted in a significant boost to her NIL profile. She's valued at a little over $1.7 million, ranking number 6 on the One's NIL rankings list. And the fact that she gave back to her old high school, the same scholarship that she benefited from, I think that is amazing. You don't have to do that with NIL at all. The fact that she did is like incredible. And it reminds me a little bit, I'm just going to venture back really quickly before we come forward, but Sexy Red going back to her high school in St. Louis and donating weave and haircuts. We had a problem with that, but people give back to the programs that they know. And I just want to say the important thing is that they want to enrich back into the community that raised them. When we come forward, we'll have more with entertainment, music, journalist, historian Mark Chappelle. We'll also talk some more about, you know, a couple of other things involving LeBron James, some buzzing topics. We'll get into Nia Long, a few other things. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's boy. All that Drake, you gotta chill. I be on my little mouse drip. All that rap to pay your bills. Yeah, I'm on some rappers pay my bills. All up on TV, I thought it made me richer. Wasn't paying me enough, I needed something quicker. So now I'm all in Nico basement, putting working on the phones. Either that or try the money mark to make the pickups. Man, it's 2008,
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. No arrests have been made so far.